If you're prone to nausea induced by cringe, this might not be your segment, but Donald Trump was honored at the Moms for America event as the, and get this is the part that might make you nauseous. Man of the Year? No. Man of the Decade? No. Man of the Century. The woman introducing the award that they've created, describing Trump as a man who has sacrificed more for the country than anyone in the century. So I want to play clips from this event. We'll talk about it. Then I want to get to, as this is going on and we're having such a great time, the mayhem that's breaking out in the form of disastrous Trump news. But again, we'll get to that in just a moment. First, clips from this President Donald J. Trump receives Man of the Century Award by the Moms for America organization event. While we watch, please do click the subscribe button. We've crossed over 1 million, so you notice I'm not freaking out about the subscribe button as much, but it's still helpful to support the growth of the show. Here's Trump.
And bad things, they let things go that should never have. I mean, things going on now, when you look at millions and millions of people pouring into our country, we have no idea who they are, where they come from, who the hell are they, but we have no idea. And I say it, and I said it a lot, and ultimately...
That was a really weird chuckle from the crowd. I don't think that was a punchline. We don't know who the hell they are. He really is a one-trick pony. In victory, his rhetoric is just as dark and emphasizes fear-mongering beyond level-headed policy conversations. Nothing's changed on that front.
Ultimately, people said, you know, he's right. I said they come out of mental institutions. They come out of street gangs. They're hardened criminals in many cases. They're people that were in jails. They're emptying their jails into our country. They're emptying their mental institutions, insane asylums into our country. They let men play in women's sports. Now,
y'all can't hear this, but producer Jaden started giggling because every time I imitate Trump and the only like 5 topics he can talk about as he diminishes, one of them is that little bit. They're coming from jails. They're coming from insane asylum. They're coming from jails. Hannibal Lecter is thrown in there occasionally if he's feeling spicy as an example of the people that he's discussing. I've said it before, but the need for a comprehensive policy solution to the problems that we face related to the border doesn't justify completely detached from any policy, just the utter insane fear-mongering we hear from Trump. And also, we talked about on a recent bonus show, you can get the bonus show by clicking that join button below, the fact that Trump and his administration, the first go-round, released more criminals who happened to be undocumented immigrants in the country than did the Biden administration. Then you have Trump saying this. Again, notice how dark the message is, even in victory.
And I don't know if it's good news or bad news, but the radical left is staying with their policies. That should be very good because nobody's going to go for it. That's why we had such a big election. They don't want to change. They're tough and hard-headed, and they don't want to change, and they're going to have to change because that's not what our country is all about. And the Moms of America represents everything that I say. I mean, everything that I say. So I was playing a beautiful round of golf with PGA professionals, some of the best golfers in the whole world, and I was on the...
Okay, so just spitballing there, he talks about how he did such a great thing. He's so selfless because he decided to cut his golfing short and come spend time with the Moms for America. He keeps calling it the Moms of America, but we get the point. One other moment from this speech, and I'll show you them presenting this award to Trump, then we'll get to the severe news that is much more important than this.
Generally speaking, do you like those cabinet picks? Are they great? Because you know what? They're sane. They're common sense. We say we're the party of common sense. So conservative, liberal. They call themselves now progressive because liberal wasn't working, but now you find out that progressive's not such a good word either. But No matter what you are, you have to have common sense. We need a border. We can't let people come into our country and just...
And then he gets back to the same thing. That's the only thing he's able to talk about. And this worked for people. And why did people say, I don't care about his horrible character. I don't care that he was found liable for sexual abuse. I don't care that he staged a coup against our government and tried to block people's transfer. I don't care that he threatens media outlets. I don't care that he looks really strange when he doesn't have his orange makeup on, but even stranger when he has it on. I just want to vote for Trump because of prices. Well, guess what we're expecting to happen now that he's announcing his policies? More hikes in prices. Because he understands tariffs like I understand UFC. Okay? He doesn't understand. All he knows is a beautiful word. Tariffs are so beautiful, more beautiful than love, as he said before. One more clip. Sorry, since I told you I'd show you the presentation of this award before talking about the mayhem I referred to.
And we are going to honor, and we should honor, and we will always honor the greatest people in our country. You know what they're called? Moms of America. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you, everybody. So many friends. Thank you.
So last year we gave the president the Founding Fathers Award, which everybody affectionately labeled the Man of the Year Award. This man has done more for this country, sacrificed more for this country, taken more for this country than anyone in the last century. So this year we're presenting him with the Man of the Century Award.
Are you kidding me? He's sacrificed more than anyone in the last century. World War II soldiers who died, step aside. That's all I can say. That's the best analysis I can give you on Trump's Man of the Century Award. He sacrificed more than anyone in this century. That's insulting to so many people who literally died for this country in the last century. Mrs. or Miss Mom, or I guess Mrs. Mom for America. Okay. So they're having a good old time as we are terrified about what's going to come of Trump's completely chaotic and potentially disastrous tariff policy that he promises to implement on day one. He's announced the specifics, 25% tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico. As a reminder, because many MAGA folks are confused, this is a tax that U.S. companies importing foreign goods, as an alarm is going off. Let's stop that. Trying to distract us from our business. Goodness gracious. I knew that was going to happen too when I set that alarm. The tax is on U.S. companies importing foreign goods and not on the government of the country that the tariff is being placed on. Trump still doesn't understand that. He completely misleads people on it because either he's misled or he is actively choosing to lie about the very policy he's advocating. So 25% Canada, Mexico, additional 10% on Chinese imports. Those are our top three trading partners. So the impact on prices of such tariffs would be significant. And all hell is breaking loose in the wake of Trump making this announcement, with now these countries threatening to respond in kind. Reuters reporting that Mexico warns Trump tariffs would kill 400,000 U.S. jobs, threatens retaliation. I'm not going to go through it all again. I just want any new viewers to know. Trump likes to say tariff as a word and as a policy, essentially regardless of how you're wielding such a tool, is good because the word's good or because it's just great to do that. But it's obviously not that simple. Like any public policy that we're talking about, any power that a president has, the particulars is how we can tell if it's a smart policy or not. and across the board tariffs of this magnitude on our three largest trading partners. Doesn't seem too smart if voters were being honest when they said their big concern was that prices had gone up because of pandemic conditions that they blamed on Biden-Harris, despite Biden-Harris dealing with the pandemic conditions better than every other country and than projections. But Reuters reports that Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum said on Wednesday Mexico would retaliate if U.S. President-elect Donald Trump followed through with his proposed 25% across-the-board tariff, a move her government warned could kill 400,000 U.S. jobs. If there are U.S. tariffs, Mexico would also raise tariffs, Sheinbaum said during her regular morning press conference, in her clearest statement yet that the country was preparing possible retaliatory trade measures against its top trade partners. So, if you understand trade wars and analyze those of the past, what you'll learn with such an analysis is that if you're coming into office claiming that you have a mandate from the American people and the top issue that voters said they voted for Trump on is prices and inflation, starting a trade war with our top three trading partners, implementing across-the-board tariffs on all imports from those countries, is the best way to do the opposite of what you said people were voting for you for. But to Trump's credit, he's doing the thing he told the voters he was going to do, and we said that's going to spike prices. And they said, yeah. So we'll see. It breaks my heart that this could hurt people. And also, in addition to that, which is my number one priority, regardless of how people voted, I want them to do as well as they can in this life. It's also true that this is what was voted for. Here's some CNN reporting.
President-elect Donald Trump, she said, quote, President Trump, neither threats nor tariffs will solve the issue of migration or drug consumption in the United States. Cooperation and shared understandings are required to face these important challenges. Imposing one tariff would mean another comes in response. I'm going to read that one more time because these are very important words from Mexico's president. Imposing one tariff would mean another comes in response, continuing like this until we put shared companies at risk. Now, the tone of this letter is very important because Mexico's president is not just talking about tariffs, about economic and the economic relationship with the United States, but also the border relationship with the United States, because Mexico has done a lot to help the Biden administration control the migration that is coming into the U.S. southern border, which begs the question about what is happening on the U.S. southern border, given that Governor Greg Abbott and the incoming U.S. border czar, Tom Homan, are on the border today.
And I'll stop that there as they get into more of the details, but a great point being made there, which is that we've seen a 75% decrease in border crossings, illegal border crossings specifically, in the last few months under Biden-Harris, in part because after failing to get something through Congress because of Republican obstruction, Biden went at it alone. I agree, he waited too long to implement some of these policies, but then Mexico has also been playing a role in contributing to that. And what could happen if you start this trade war and antagonize Canada and Mexico is an exacerbation of the very problems Trump ran on the other major issue that we heard him talking about in the Moms for America event. Of course, inappropriately speaking about it, but addressing the second big topic people said that they voted for him on, immigration, because we won't have an ally to work with as effectively because he will have gone after them brutally. We haven't started. We haven't gotten to day one of Trump's administration, and already chaos. And already we see a potential, unless he backs off of this, of him making worse the two problems that he said were his top issues. And the two subjects that voters said were the reason they insisted on putting the civilly liable rapist back into office for. I said on yesterday's bonus show that America is a lot of things, a lot of beautiful things. And the American people are. And I do believe we are a great country. One thing I can't say about our current voting decisions is that they're rational. Because what? You know what are we doing here, people? Tell me in the comments, or tell me if you agree with how baffled I am in the comments. And as I mentioned earlier, you can get extra content, and you can see me go completely off the rails on the bonus show by clicking that join button below.